Diane opened the letter in early January, and her stomach dropped. It was from the IRS. 3 weeks earlier, she'd been at her daughter's house for the holidays, phone off, calendar forgotten. She figured she'd handle her retirement withdrawal when she got back. She didn't know there was a deadline sitting quietly on December 31st, waiting. Here's what most people don't realize about retirement accounts. Once you hit a certain age, the government doesn't just let your savings sit there tax-deferred forever. You're required to take out a minimum amount every year. It's called a required minimum distribution, or RMD. Miss it, or take out too little, and the IRS doesn't send a gentle reminder. They send a penalty. For years, that penalty was brutal. 50% of whatever you failed to withdraw. Half. Recent law changed that. It's now 25% of the shortfall. Still not small. Diane's missed RMD was $20,000. 25% of that is $5,000, just for being 3 weeks late. Would you have known that deadline was coming? Most people don't find out until the letter arrives. She thought about calling a lawyer, then a tax preparer. Then she just sat with the letter for a full day, too anxious to open the envelope again. That's the part nobody talks about. It's not just the money. It's the fear. The feeling that one small oversight might have consequences you can't undo. Here's the part that surprised Diane, though, and it might surprise you too. If you catch the mistake and fix it quickly, the penalty can drop even further. Correct the missed withdrawal within the IRS's 2-year correction window. File the right paperwork, and that 25% can fall to just 10%. For Diane, that meant the difference between a $5,000 penalty and a $2,000 one. She filed something called Form 5329. It's the form that reports the missed distribution and can request a reduction, or in some cases, a full waiver. The IRS can actually forgive the penalty entirely if the shortfall was a reasonable mistake and you're taking real steps to correct it. Diane wrote a short letter explaining what happened, attached it to her form, and waited. She got the reduced penalty. Not zero, but far less than she feared that January morning. Here's what she wishes she'd known sooner. Your custodian, the bank or brokerage holding your account, usually calculates your RMD for you every January. They take your account balance from December 31st of the prior year, run it through an IRS life expectancy table, and hand you a number. Sounds simple, but usually isn't always. Sometimes the calculation is wrong. Sometimes you have more than one account, and each one needs its own withdrawal. Sometimes the notice gets buried in your inbox next to everything else. It's still your responsibility to check the number and to take the withdrawal before December 31st. Not February, not when things calm down. December 31st. If you're approaching this age, or you're already required to take distributions, here's the real lesson from Diane's letter. Mark the date now. Not as a vague note, but as an actual reminder months in advance. Ask your custodian directly whether they've calculated your number for the year. And if you do miss it, don't panic and don't hide from it. The correction window is real. The reduced penalty is real. And the IRS does allow for honest mistakes. Diane's 3 weeks cost her real money, but it didn't cost her her retirement, because she caught it, corrected it, and moved forward. The rules around these deadlines aren't going away, and they're not always intuitive. Diane's story isn't rare, and it doesn't have to be yours. If you want to know exactly how these rules apply to your own retirement, I put everything I know into my retirement guide. You'll find the link below.